I saw it actually not so long ago, and I think it's gained legs. At the time, wasn't accepted, and because it didn't have the bosoms and it didn't have the blood that the normal Hammer film had. It was kind of more slightly esoteric, and it had a bit more, maybe, I think, to it in a way. For me, it's not what you see, it's what you don't see, which is why the landlady works, because you don't see it. It's all implied and you imagine it. And our imaginations are far greater than really what you can maybe show. Yeah, absolutely.
I think a lot more depends on that. You know, it can be in your own imagination. It's how you want to take it. Like sometimes when people got round the censors by double entendres, like what Mae West did in her time before you could. You know, she said it was up to you. It's your own dirty mind, and that's how she got away with it. So I think that's a lot.
Because it could have been a gun in his pocket.
Yeah.
Well, he's just pleased to see you.
Yeah.
So other than that, obviously you were in another great franchise, Bond.
Oh, Bond, yes.
So how do you feel about that?
I feel very lucky to have been chosen to be in Bond. You know, I think it was, again, it has the longevity and to be a part of such a kind of legacy is wonderful, really.
You do all these things, and then you think it might not be any, you know, it's it. And then, but what you don't realise, the people that come to the conventions grow up to be the fans, but grow up to be the producers, the directors, and these people, and they go, I've loved you, and I just want you to have, you know, even if it's something little, I just want you to be in my film, because they have that love. So that's another thing you don't think of at the time.
No, you don't. It's a job, and it was my passion, or still is. I thought my passion had died, to be honest. I did actually do A Midsummer Murders. I shouldn't say this, but I did that last year, and I felt very, very rusty, because I hadn't really done anything for a while. And I wasn't good, you know, it wasn't good. And I thought, okay, maybe I'll have to think about something else, but although this is all I've ever done, maybe I'll do film production or something. But then I did a little bit in something else, and then I did yours, and the passion has come back. So it's still there.
Brilliant!
So Jason, we have aroused Caroline Munro's passion.
You certainly have. Oh, yes. Big time.
When you got Hoff, like, we have to talk about the Hoff. Did you hassle him, as he always says, that t-shirt?
Yeah, maybe I did a bit in Star Crash. We had a great time. We both had bad tummies together. No, not that. We were in Italy. We were shooting, Star Crash. And I had to be hung upside down in this particular scene, I remember, and David was meant to rescue me. And we did a lot of fight scenes together. I mean, not fighting against each other, but together. So we were pretty fit. But we did get these really bad tummies in Italy. And I was hung upside down, and then he had to kind of lift me down. And he's a really good bloke, David. He gets a lot of interesting press, but he's a really decent boy. Decent young man. Well, he's nearly my age, but hey. But he looks great, and he's really cleaned himself up, and he's working. He's got a lovely Welsh girl. I saw him about a month or so ago in LA. He's really, you know, good.
Was it like working with Horst Janssen?
Oh, Horst on Kronos. Yeah. He was an extraordinary swordsman. We had William Hobbs, who was a sword master, basically. He's done loads of films, choreographed loads of films, but he did an amazing job. And he was so dashing and handsome. It was easy to work with him. He was lovely.
But Ian Hendry just got the little bit of it.
He did. He was a wonderful actor, an extraordinary actor. And I think it's no secret he had a bit of a drink problem. But he was an extraordinary actor, very charismatic. And Brian said to Ian, he said, I love you to do this part. This is a really important part. He said, no drinking. Yeah, no problem. You know, no drinking. Okay, I'll be there. So Brian came to discuss it with him at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then he looked, and he was drinking a pint of lager. And he said, but the deal was that it's no drinking. You know, you don't drink. He said, you call this as a drink? This was at 8 o'clock in the morning, so that was, Brian tells it really well. But anyway, he did a really good job. He was fabulous in that. Wonderful, very underestimated actor.